Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on Cassie Ventura. Cassie Ventura is being brave. This is her second day on the stand for the Diddy trial. And she still, to my knowledge, has not been cross-examined yet. I mean, no matter what you believe or don't believe, I think we all got to come into agreement that whether she was complicit or not complicit in this situation, it is still a very sad situation. You know, some people, and Cassie is young. What is Cassie? She's only 36 years old. And for Cassie to have been and endured all of this, it's a lot. Okay. I'm 55 and I've been nowhere near through the pain and the trauma that she has been through. So Cassie, some of the things that she said today was that, of course, she told us the other day that the freak offs, unfortunately, were constant. It was like a job. It was like 4 days a week. She said, throughout the year for many weeks, right? But in addition to that, now she has updated us and said that she got constant UTIs to the point where the medication that they would give her to resolve the UTI, it kind of just stopped working. She has sores on her tongue from doing whatever she had to do with her mouth during these freak offs. And that is just heart wrenching. She's extremely fortunate that, after all of that, she was still able to marry and have children. Now, today also, they released the entire 15 minutes of the video where Diddy put his hands on Cassie in that hotel that day. So they released the unedited version. In this version, you do see the security guard coming to talk to Diddy, coming and kind of saving Cassie, so to speak. And you do, unfortunately, there's no audio, but you do see like Cassie and Diddy seeming like, they was having words back and forth. You could tell that the security guard was talking to Diddy. Now, Diddy's team is 10 toes down that this particular day, it had nothing to do with a freak off. It was just those two together and they got into a disagreement. Now, I will say this. The security guard was there. He also claimed that he walked to the room, to walk Diddy back to the room or whatever the case may be. I wonder if he can testify as to was there someone else in that room on that day? Because that would debunk the defense theory that it was just Cassie and Diddy there, and this had nothing to do with a freak off and her trying to get away. So let me go ahead and share screen so we can get more into the story. So Cassie, the freak offs gave me very painful UTIs. I can only imagine, like, first of all, your body is enduring hours and hours and hours and hours of, relations. And then in addition to that, you was doing it 4 days a week, darn near every week. That, like, how can your body hold up to that? That's just like dreadful, right? So Cassie Ventura says there was a painful physical side effect from all the freak offs. Diddy had her doing with male escorts, and she said it was the urinary tract infections. I'm going to say this in the most respectful way that I can. Diddy utilized Cassie as if she was his own personal, I'm going to say CORN star, change the C for a P, and you understand what I'm saying. I feel like that's what he was doing to Cassie, which is just dreadful. And I believe that regular corn stars, CORN, but you know what I'm trying to say. I believe that they don't even, make movies and perform 4 days a week, 52 weeks out the year. Like, that's just insane. Like, every week, like crazy. The singer testified in court Wednesday she would take opioids after the freak offs to numb herself from very painful UTIs. Cassie told the jury the UTIs would give her a burning sensation, and she got them so often that antibacterial medication stopped working, and she needed more powerful pills and turned to opioids. She testified she would also get sores on her tongue from all the oral sex during the freak offs, and she raised the issues of sores in her mouth and UTIs with Diddy. Cassie told the jury she also needed massages, IV fluids, and food to recover from freak offs. She says she tried to avoid kissing the male escorts because it seemed too intimate, but Diddy would tell her to kiss the male sex workers. Cassie testified, Diddy even asked her to do freak-offs on her 29th birthday, pulling her out of the Blind Dragon karaoke bar in West Hollywood and using his security team to take her to a freak-off. She talked about some of the aftermath from Diddy's 2016 assault on her in a hotel hallway. The full unedited 15-minute long video was shown in court and is now released. And she testified Diddy tried to lure her back by telling her he was getting arrested. Cassie and prosecutors read some text messages in court. They said a message from Diddy read, "Please call, I'm surrounded." Cassie testified she texted back, "Please stay away from me." And Diddy responded, "I'm getting arrested." Diddy was not arrested. She told the jury Diddy would get physically violent with her at freak-off Sue, sometimes in the presence of the male escort they hired. She said the escorts would ask her how she was doing after Diddy put his hands on her. And she says the violence happened too frequently in places like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. Cassie has not been cross-examined yet. Diddy's defense has said the freak-offs were consensual. Let's go back. We'll take a look at this video. It's no sound. It's deplorable. It is, but let's take a look. That's her leaving. You know what? Everything is hindsight, right? I wonder if it was stairs. Well, all hotels have stairs. I wish she would have ran down the stairs and got out of there. But it seems like maybe she got a moment to sneak out, and that's why she grabbed the bag. Her shoes was in there, and you know, she's putting her shoes on at the elevator. She probably thought he was knocked out, sleep or something like that. And she said, "Let me just, you know, get out of here." And then, good gosh, here he comes. And this right here is vicious. Vicious. Oh my gosh. Vicious. Oh my gosh. And then the dragging. And for security to see this on footage and in real time, not call the cops and show them this video and have him get arrested. And that guy, the security, got on stand and talked about, you know, he just how he de-escalated the situation, and he didn't take a bribe. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt like he did take this bribe. I think he's full of crap. I felt like he did take the bribe, because if you saw all of this on video, you saw him kick her. Why not call the cops? Why not show them the video? You took a recording of this video on your iPhone, so why not go ahead and you call the cops yourself and show them what you saw went down in a hotel that you were working in? Because I feel like he took the bribe. This is just evil. That's where I'm believing he took the cell phone. It looks like that's her cell phone he took from her. It does look like she was picking up the hotel phone. You know, some hallways they have the phone in the hotel. It looked like she picked up the hotel phone and was calling maybe for help. That's my guess when I seen her picking up this, you know, black phone or whatever. So even the hotel failed her at this point. He's still arguing with her. See, that's a phone there. It seems like she was on the phone. And they did say they got a call that somebody was in distress on the 6th floor. Yeah, because you see that is the 6th floor. So maybe it was her calling them for help. Oh my gosh. This is her leaving. Again, I wish she would have found some stairs. I'm want to guess because he just had a towel on, and you see she got dressed, she had a jeans, she had a hoodie on. I want to feel like maybe she thought he was knocked out sleep. I know I probably said that already. Mm, mm, mm. So I guess he's figuring, if I take your stuff, where you gonna go? So I'm guessing because he saw that she didn't wasn't behind him and wasn't coming, he went back to for her. At some point in the video, you are going to see that security arrives. They should get lip reading experts to determine like what he was saying and what she was saying. I do believe that this trial would be going a little bit differently had this video not surfaced, because then it would definitely be a lot more hearsay, so to speak, of your word against mine. But the reason why they fought for this video to get in, because now one thing the jury does not have to try to imagine or speculate is the fact that he gets physical, or he got physical with Cassie. Now, the chopped up version that CNN first showed, it did make it look worse than what it is. And I'm not saying that it's not bad, right? It made it seem worse because they showed us just the dragging in the part that happened in front of the elevator. But you see here, some type of exchange and conversation was happening with them. And I feel like he's telling her, come back to the room. And she's like, no, and he's going to get up in her face. Like, what do you mean you're not coming back to the room? Now, whether the defense proves if this was their security arrived. Whether you can prove that this was a freak off or not, I don't know how much that's really going to matter to the jury. I think that's what's mattering to the jury more is the fact that they actually see how violent Diddy was in this situation. It's going to prove to his coercion, right? It's going to prove to his violence. It's going to prove to, for the prosecution side, that if you say no to Diddy, there's going to be consequences. I mean, you saw him physically kick her, drag her down by her hoodie, throw something at her. Now this security is talking to Diddy. Now, when he first came up there in real time back in March 5th, 2016, that doesn't mean that he knew exactly what happened, right? But once he went back and looked at the footage and saw that Diddy did what he did to Cassie, and it's interesting, he has his head down like that. This is interesting. I wish this thing had audio. Yes, he's telling him go back to your room. It seems like he's telling the security is telling Diddy to stay back. It seems like Diddy is saying something to Cassie too. And then security is telling him pretty much, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know what they're saying. Like, okay, you be quiet. Y'all stay away from each other. I do know that Cassie testified she just wanted her phone back. And I believe you're going to see in here where the security guard gets her bag, gets her phone. Now, in the lawsuit we read, there's Cassie. It seems like she's telling him, please get my phone, get my bag. Ooh, you could tell that unfortunately she was used to this. I wouldn't even want it to go. Even with security, I would be like, security, you get my stuff and I'm gonna wait right here by the elevator. But this was their norm. It looked like the people came up to clean up the mess that was made with the vase being broken, the flowers being on the floor, whatever else went on. If he was comfortable doing this in a hotel, you can only imagine when he was in the privacy of his own home, what he possibly did or did not do to Cassie, being that, it was his own home. Here she is coming with her bag and her pocketbook. So it was like security help her get her stuff. A lot of these individuals to me that help these celebrities get away with doing bad things, I really feel like they need to be punished too. It's being said that a lot of the people that probably should have been co-defendants in this Diddy trial got immunity. Only time will tell. There he's again. You couldn't throw on some sweatpants or some clothes. It's almost like he came back to look for her because it's like, no, you coming back. Feel like he's calling her here. I can't be sure, but that's what I feel like. And I'm going to say this respectfully because they said he watched a lot. Who needs to be stimulated that much 4 days a week, every single week? I don't know. It's crazy. But I guess addictions are addictions, right? And remember, there was one week where they claimed the original video was destroyed, but I guess it was not. So he got ripped off, okay? Because he paid a whole bunch of money to keep this video private. And look at, here it is. That's why, you know what, I would never allow anybody to blackmail me. And I wouldn't try to blackmail anybody because at the end of the day, the truth will always come to the light. Whether it's now or 10, 20 years later. Here it is. This happened in 2016. We're at 2025. So what is that? About 9 years later, it came out anyway. God bless her, though. She was feisty because she did say something to him. Some of this is looping over. It's what we already saw. Listen, guys, the question here is, as we're coming up on the last minute or so of this video, is let me know your thoughts. Do you think these two were Bonnie and Clyde, or do you think they were Clyde and Victim? Do you, Diddy has a dark side. I think that's evident if you ask me, but let me know your thoughts. Do you think he has a dark side? I think that, they said his mother, a childhood friend said this, ain't diva, so you ain't got to say I'm making stuff up or putting 2110. A childhood friend who lived with Diddy for a little bit when they was younger, pretty much said that, Janice Combs had these, sex parties. So here her son is years later, and it seems like he took the sex parties to a whole nother level. Cassie endured a lot. To God be the glory. She has a husband now that loves her. I have my theories and thoughts on the husband, but that's another story for another day. She did get out of having to do these freak offs on a regular basis, and definitely anything you're doing 4 days a week, 52 days, 52 weeks out the year is definitely a job. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this extended version of the video. Let me know your thoughts on her getting consistent UTIs. And let me know your thoughts on, unfortunately, she had to endure painful sores in her mouth too. It's a mess. Chat with me. I'll chat back. I'll see you in the next video.